artist, and I've been teaching for over 50 years, teaching children and teaching adults, and I really enjoy the teaching. And I paint everything that I see. If you're wondering where I get my inspiration, we travel. We travel all over the world. Also, I come from New York, and New York is an interesting place to paint. It's very colorful. Buildings, the traffic, the cabs, the people. And now, get your palette, get your brushes, and let's get started. Welcome from the Painter's Palette. My name is Judy Wengrovitz. I'm an artist, and I live in Fairfax County, Virginia. I'm here now, and I'm going to show you how to paint a snow scene, if you like snow. So just watch closely, and you'll learn something. First thing I did was put my watercolor paper on a board, and I stapled it to the board. That way the watercolor paper laid flat when it was wet. Now I'm going to begin, and where shall I begin? I think I'm going to begin with the sky. I have a little photograph here to give me a little confidence in painting. All right, here we go. First thing I'm going to do is to wet this paper, and I'm going to wet it, oh, well, not that color, but I have a color here that's unusual, but it might be good. Somehow when I wash my brushes out, they never wash out completely. This helps me though, because I know where the paper is wet. So, now, I'm going to paint the sky, but instead of painting, there's a little drip here. Let's wash it off. Okay, so I'm going to paint the sky different. You will be surprised. I'm painting a little yellow. What's funny is that my brush was a little dirty, had a little blue in it, so my yellow is getting a little. And let's go ahead and that's a yellow, and painting a little orange. A little red, sort of like sunset. Maybe I'll make it even a little redder. Okay, now, there's a lot of trees in the background here, and I'm going to just give them some color. Let's go ahead and try. Here is my Ultramarine Blue. And my burnt Sienna. Put a little bit more blue in. And I'm going to, this is going to be all, okay. I don't care if this is even, because I'm going to be putting a lot of trees in front. I wonder, I just want to show you something I can't resist. while I'm doing this, well, let's go down a little further here. Let's try something different here. Watch, what I'm doing is I'm pressing down, and I'm going to give you sort of a little mist, especially if I press down. It's lifting off the color. This may be a little dark. Why don't I lift? Whoops. Okay, I'm going to go back and do the other side over here. And let's see if I can do it like the first side. Okay, get a little burnt sienna and a little blue. And actually, I really want this wet. You know, I'm going to take another brush, this brush here, and re-wet this. Okay. Well, I don't know if I want it that brown. Probably not to worry, because I'm going to wipe it off like the other side. But I have to work fast, otherwise it won't wipe off. And so I'm going to blot this. As I press down, I lift at the same time. I could blot my brush to dry it off. Now, the next thing I want to do, I don't want to lose it. There is a stream here, and the stream is reflecting trees and it's reflecting sky. Actually, I'd like to make the sky a little darker, but I don't want to do it right now. I think I'll do it at the end of the painting. So I think I'll go ahead and just paint my stream so I don't lose my sketch. Okay. And actually, why don't I do this? I'm going to paint the stream wet. Oh, pretty big drip this time, but I'm not going to worry. Oh, maybe I will worry about it. So, see how that came off? Oh, it's coming off, dripping again. I've got a lot of water on here. I'm going to stop here because I want to get a little bit of color into. No, I'm not going. Yeah, I will. I'll put a little color in here. A little bit of the orange. Let's see, color here. I get a little orange here from the sky. Got to get the sky maybe some more. I can change this later on. Actually, those trees bother me, but I think they'll be fine once I get a lot of other trees in front of them. Let's go ahead and I'm putting a little bit of the Cerulean Blue on the stream. For some reason this color is bothering me. So because it's bothering me, I think I will take a little tiny bit. Yeah. I'm making a glaze. A glaze is using paint with a lot of water. So, and I'm going over this to give it a brown look to it because I didn't like the other color. And this is a glaze, and notice the way everything is dry underneath, so you can still see all the strokes on the other thing, but it now has a sort of a brownish color to it. Okay, now I'm going to paint a little bit of the snow here, and then start putting in plants and trees. Okay, so let's take a little bit of another blue. Getting a little bit. This doesn't look like very much until you get all the trees in. And I'm just taking a drop of this and rubbing it on my palette. I don't want to go ahead. As I say, this brush sort of works fine. It's a big brush, but it does handle pretty nicely. Actually, looking at this brush came from one of my instructors, I see, and it's called Art Ventures. Too dark. We have to be very careful. I don't want it too dark. That's pretty dark too. Darker than I want it to. I'm going to wash it off. Let's see. Okay. This brush is thick enough so that when I want to use my whole arm, well, this is all in shadow here. Let's see, okay. I know this is pretty dark. Okay, where else are we in shadow? I want to put some of these shadows down before I put my trees in. have to say that when I put these shadows in, I'm guessing where to put them, and actually I have to leave them. I can't take this much shadow out, actually. Oh, yes. Well, this is going to be dark too. And this is part of the stream. Okay. All right, let's see. Any place else? Let me go ahead and put some shading here, too. Now, what colors I'm using? I'm using, well, I should call it palette dirt. Most of my palettes are always dirty looking in comparison to other artists, actually. But I like to pick up those mixtures because they're different. Nobody knows what I did. Of course, I don't know what I did either, so if I like it, I don't know if I can get it again. Okay, I think now I can get some trees in. Okay, which brush? I think I better use a smaller brush to begin with. Okay, and let's see what happens. I'm going to go back and use the usual colors that I like to use. Ultramarine and burnt sienna. This gives me a blackish color. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. Yeah, this is a good color. Now that happened by accident. What happened, I think, is that I dipped my brush into two colors, and I got two colors on, and then when I press down, here it goes again, which is very nice. Wow, this is all happening by accident. I shouldn't tell you, I should say it's happening, and I know it's happening, but I'm going to do some more branches. Okay. And down here, I'm just wondering if I could do that with a sponge. Well, let me put my other trees in here first. And again, I'm using those two colors. And when I use those two colors, I don't mix them the same each time. So that's why they always look different. Okay. Actually, let me hold this up for a second. When I put the trees in, instead of doing this, I hold my brush straight and then I press down. Oh, guess what's happening? And as I press down, I got a little blue stripe. So I press down instead of straight. Of course, this paper is making it look better. Okay, so, all right, let me continue my trees here. Now let's get some branches here. It's fun to put the tree trunks over the background like that, because then the background doesn't stand out quite that much. So I'm going to do this. And what's fun is then I can overlap some of the trees. I press down a little bit thicker here. And I'm going to get a few of them darker. Wow, I got it very dark here. Well, okay. That way they overlap. I didn't want it brown, but, well, it's brown. Let's just go ahead and try another brush here. While I'm doing this, I'm going to try this brush. This is my rigger. The hairs are long and the brush is thin. Let's put some little branches here. I'm just going to do a little bit because this will take too long if I do all these trees, but just want to show you. And there are some little I could do it fast, or I'm doing it slowly now. Oh, this gives me a chance to do something else. And what I'm doing here now is, let me keep mixing a little bit more blue into it. Okay, this is the stream. So, I don't want to get it too dark right away. I don't really like that line. Well, let me see if I can get rid of it. Too straight. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is really fun. I could put some more trees in here. Okay, well, let's see. Oh, I might as well do this too. And I put a little bit more orange here. Okay. Put some more reflections here. More reflections. If I want more reflections, I'll just paint some more trees. And I think I'll get a little bit more color in here so that the snow stands out. Yeah. Actually, it goes down to here. But let me go ahead and try the sponge and see if that works in this corner. Okay, here's the sponge over here. Let's see what's going to happen here. Dip it into the water and then squeeze. I'm going to get it with a wet sponge. I'm dipping it. I dipped it into my ultramarine and my burnt sienna. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, it does work. Actually, got a little green in here by accident. Yeah. Wow. I feel like doing more. Let's see. And, well, not only that, but I know what else. Well, let's put a little bit over here. I know what else I could do. Well, I thought I could do this, but I don't see where my brush is to. Here it is. I can and I'll show you what I'm doing. This works very nicely. Okay, I feel like doing it someplace else because it's so nice. And it's so fast. I'm going to do some reflections there too. I used the back of my brush. Yeah, I'm using the back of my brush. I put the paint on, actually, with this sponge, And the sponge is not too wet. It's pretty dry. And it worked very nicely. So do I dare? I'm going to do some over here. A little bit over here so you can see it up close. First I'm going to put some more, handle my reflections. So let me put these down so I don't lose them. And okay, so let's take a little smaller brush here and put down my ultramarine blue, my burnt sienna, Okay, and, oh, that's too dark. Let's see, let's get it off. I don't want it that brown, so I want it a little bluer. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah. And I'm making a reflection now of some of those grasses. I could use a sponge probably here too. Paper is very dry now, and so every time I put down a color, it comes out a little different. Let's see. It's really fun once you get the reflections in. Okay, not finished yet. I'm going to put some more branches on the trees. I don't think I'm going to do the right side now. I think I'll just wait and do the left side. Shall I leave that bit of snow white? I don't know. Let me put some of the branches in and see what happens. When I put the branches in, actually, I'll hold this up. I put the branches, a center branch, one on one side, then one a little bit higher on the other side, and then I can keep building it up. One side, one side, one side, one side. Okay, so those things seem to be not important, but when you see it all together, it is. And I keep building it up a little bit. Plus, I'm going to do something different again. Let me do this first. Okay. Now, okay, so what I'm going to do now, and I could have done this with masking solution, although I might not have known where the branches are. So here I go again, and this time, oh, let me see. Yeah, This time I'm going to use an old brush. Okay. And I'm going to squeeze out. I like this paint. I think I still have some here. I'll pour out a little bit more. This is put out by Golden. It's very nice. And it's liquid acrylic. So there are acrylic in tubes, but this is liquid. I'm going to just pour out a little tiny bit. Yeah, just a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is take some and put it, oops, it might be too white. It might be too white, it might be too thick, I don't know. This is a little thick here, but instead of leaving it that white, I'm going to go over it with another color. Let's see. Make it a little darker, like that. I'll go back over the branch too. Okay. As I say, I don't think I'm going to go back and work on that part. I have enough work to do over here, actually. So let me go ahead and work on the stream. Well, first I'm going to take this, put it down, put this brush in this water. Take this water, move it aside, and take this and put the clean water there. So I use clean water now on my stream. Okay, so that part of my stream, let's see if that part of my stream, yeah, okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and put in. I might have made some mistakes here. But I don't know if anybody's going to look for the mistakes I made. Making it a little darker than the snow, and even though I said I wasn't going to paint those trees, I may at least paint the tree trunks. So let's go ahead and paint the tree trunks. And maybe make some more. And you know, so I liked a little bit of orange there. I still feel like putting more in the sky, and I don't know if I should dare. I don't want to spoil what I have, so let's see. Oops, this is not it. stream. That's the snow. Oh, I'm going to put a little bit of blue in that water. What color blue here? I don't know, maybe this is cobalt. That's pretty bright. Getting a little green down there, but it's okay. I think I'm going to do something to those mountains in the back too. Oh boy, that's blue. Well, I could change this. Sometimes I don't like it right away, then I like it afterwards. Well, since I called those trees in the background, but I'm not going to call them trees anymore. I am going to call them mountains. And yeah, I'm going to put some little trees at the bottom. That makes it look better. It looked too high for trees before, so I almost feel like putting a house there, but maybe I better not push my luck. And I have some more trees here. Wow. Okay. Put some more trees down here. Almost feel like doing, I felt like doing this. It makes no difference, actually. I felt like drawing a road, but maybe no one will know it's a road. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. And now I think I'm going to take my rigger and do some more little trees with the two colors. Okay. No, not trees, I meant branches. That's too dark. I said I wasn't going to touch this side. I'm just doing some more little branches. I said I wasn't going to get to this side, but actually I ended up getting to it because I couldn't resist. I could do another thing, maybe, or just for the fun of it. Let's see. What happened? Oh, yeah. I might go ahead. Okay, just. I did a little bit of snow coming across this pond. And I don't think no, I don't think I'll do any more. At this rate, I have still some things that I have to do when I get back to my studio. I have to study this, and I have to decide how many more trees to do, how many more branches. And so I am looking at this, and I'll do a few more rigger branches because I couldn't resist. I want to do a lot of them, actually. I try to put the trees separate from each other. Here they are equal, but it's not that bad. I like to cross over the other branches or the other tree trunks with the rigger. And I'm thinking, should I do something here? I better think about it. I'm not sure if I should. Some of these could be darker, and these could have more branches on them. I'm happy with the way this came out. I didn't know that was going to happen. That was a surprise. That's about watercolor. One big surprise. And that's the part I like. Actually, I'm even more surprised when I step back in my studio and see what the painting looks like. I don't want to ruin this. I have just keep working, and then before I know it, I will have ruined it. Okay. Anyhow, I'm going to leave it right now. I'm not going to touch it anymore until I go back to the studio. I might leave it or I might add to it. So, I want to say thank you for watching my demonstration. I hope you learned something. It's really not hard to do. Tear yourself a sponge, go buy a little container of the acrylic. I'm back in my own studio, and now I'm going to try various colors of mattes on my painting so that I am prepared to put a frame on it. Watercolor painting really should have a matte. So let me start showing you what the mattes look like, and then I can make up my mind which one I like the best. This is an all-white matte. Let's put it on here and see what happens. Not too good. Very bland. Let me add some other colors to it and see what it looks like. This is either dark brown or black. Let's put that here. Not good. At this point, that black matte, it takes your eye away from the painting. You're just seeing the black matte. So we'll take that away. Here's a little matte. Let's just try it. I think it's either dark gray or it's a green. I would not use green on this painting because there isn't any green in it. Let me put this mat on here. This is a smaller mat. And for fun, let me see if I want to cut the painting down. If I wanted to make my painting smaller, I could make it smaller by putting a smaller mat on it. I'm going to try this mat on. It's sort of fun to try it on. I'm not sure I'm going to use a smaller mat, but I thought I'd try it. In fact, this is vertical. Let me turn it around. I'm moving this mat. It's really funny because right over here is a mountain. And as I moved it, I got that mountain there, and it was just what I wanted because it shows just a little bit of a light color, which picks up the light colors through here. Now, do I want? Let's try it in another place. It's almost difficult to make up my mind because it looks so good. But I decided that I'm going to make a larger painting. So let's take this away. Let's take my all white mat away. This time I'm taking this mat, which I sort of like the best. It has a warm brown in it. That brown sort of picks up these, but even the sky has a little bit of brown in it. It keeps the painting large, and it's not gray, yet the brown picks up the painting. It's very soft, and I think that this is the one that I like, which is a light beige and another little inner liner of brown. Now I have to decide, do I want the beige? The beige picks up various beiges, and it sort of warms the painting up. But I'm going to try something else. This is a dark gray, which picks up the color of the trees. And, you know, what I originally had tried was a black. I didn't like the black. It was too strong. This is a little bit lighter than the black is. But you know something? Just because of that, I think I'm going to stick to the beige right now and use the beige as my mat. The whiter beige. And now I have to go ahead and get some frames. And I have to try out various frames too. So I'm going to go to the frame store. And in the meantime, why don't you go ahead, look up judyswatercolors.com, my webpage, and you will see that I paint different things. Thanks for coming again. Goodbye.